History is full of fascinating stories, but not everything makes it into your history textbooks. In today's video, we're diving into 10 historical facts that are so interesting, you probably didn't learn about them in school. Let's kick things off with something from ancient history. Did you know that Cleopatra wasn't actually Egyptian? While Cleopatra is one of the most iconic figures in ancient Egypt, she was of Greek descent. Her family, the Ptolemies, ruled Egypt after Alexander the Great's empire broke up. Cleopatra was actually the first of her line to learn the Egyptian language and embrace Egyptian culture. She became one of Egypt's most famous rulers, but she was Greek by birth. Next, we have a story about one of the most famous figures in European history, Napoleon Bonaparte. Now, we all know him for his role in the French Revolution and his ambition to conquer Europe. But did you know that Napoleon was once attacked by a horde of bunnies? In 1807, Napoleon decided to hold a rabbit hunt to celebrate a treaty signing. However, the rabbits were released and instead of running away, they charged straight at Napoleon and his men. It became a hilarious disaster, with the bunnies overwhelming the emperor and his party. Now, let's jump to the 18th century and talk about Marie Antoinette. Most of us have heard the phrase, "let them eat cake," which is often attributed to her, but it turns out, she never said it. The phrase was actually a piece of revolutionary propaganda designed to make her appear out of touch with the French people. Marie Antoinette was much more compassionate than her image suggests, but history, unfortunately, created a distorted narrative around her. Here's a mind-blowing fact from the United States. The White House was once set on fire. In 1814, during the War of 1812, British troops attacked Washington, D.C., and set the White House on fire. The fire destroyed most of the interior, and the British even dined in the president's residence before leaving. Luckily, the building was eventually rebuilt, and the White House has since become an enduring symbol of American strength. Speaking of symbols, how about the Great Wall of China? This monumental structure is famous for its massive size and historical importance, but did you know it's not one continuous wall? The Great Wall is actually a series of walls built by different Chinese dynasties over centuries. It wasn't all built at once, and its primary purpose was not always to keep invaders out, it was also used to signal the approach of enemies or to protect trade routes. Let's take a trip to ancient Rome. Roman gladiators were often vegetarians. While we often think of gladiators as fierce meat-eating warriors, most of them actually had a plant-based diet. They ate mostly barley, beans, and other grains, and it's believed that they consumed a high amount of plant material to maintain their strength. They were also known to drink a mixture of vinegar and ash to help with bone strength. Now, here's a strange fact from the medieval period. The shortest war in history lasted just 38 to 45 minutes. It was between Britain and Zanzibar on August 27, 1896. The war was sparked by a succession dispute after the Sultan of Zanzibar died. The British were able to quickly defeat the forces of Zanzibar, making it the shortest recorded war in history. Here's another interesting tidbit about an unexpected figure. Abraham Lincoln is in the Wrestling Hall of Fame. Before becoming the 16th President of the United States, Lincoln was an accomplished wrestler in his younger years. He participated in about 300 matches and only lost once. His impressive wrestling career earned him a spot in the National Wrestling Hall of Fame. Moving on to the 20th century, did you know that Albert Einstein wasn't the only genius in his family? While most of us associate Einstein with his groundbreaking theories, his younger sister, Maha Einstein, was also quite remarkable. Maha was a teacher and was well known for her intelligence. Despite not being as famous as her brother, she played an important role in his life and career. Lastly, let's talk about one of the most iconic events in world history. The first successful powered flight happened with a plane that wasn't built by the Wright brothers. While the Wright brothers are credited with inventing the first successful airplane, they were not the first people to fly. The first powered flight actually took place in 1891 by Otto Lilienthal, a German aviation pioneer. He was the first person to make controlled, sustained flights, and his work directly influenced the Wright brothers. So, there you have it, 10 surprising historical facts that might have flown under your radar in school. History is full of incredible stories that aren't always what they seem, And we've only scratched the surface